A giant retires, and Asia holds its breath. In the early hours of a cloudy June morning, Japan's legendary patrol ship Shikishima sailed back to port for the final time. Sirens wailed, cameras flashed, maritime patrol officers snapped salutes, their eyes fixed on the colossal ship that had kept East Asia's waters in check for decades. This was not just the end of a mission, it was the end of an era. For the Philippines, the news hit like a tidal wave. Shikishima had long been a symbol of order, a floating shield against gray zone aggression in the South China Sea. Now, with its retirement, a question loomed large: what next? The Philippine Coast Guard, still young and underfunded, suddenly faced a future without its most reliable ally. The headlines screamed of historic transition and new dangers. Analysts rushed to predict the next move. Would China seize the moment to expand its reach? Could the Philippines fill the gap? In Manila's busy harbors, the tension was real. Old hands muttered about the days when Shikishima's arrival calmed the waves. Now, the stakes had never felt higher. Shikishima's retirement is more than a ceremonial footnote. For a generation, this ship was the backbone of Japan's maritime self-defense, patrolling vast stretches from the East China Sea to the open Pacific. Its presence alone deterred trouble. Pirates gave way. Illegal fishermen scattered. Even the region's superpowers treaded more carefully when Shikishima was on the horizon. The retirement ceremony was solemn. Veterans recalled tense standoffs, rescue missions, and moments of high drama in disputed waters. Some wept quietly, remembering fallen comrades and the ship's many near misses with disaster. Others spoke of Shikishima's role as a floating classroom, where allies learned the rules of maritime law and order. To the region, Shikishima had become more than steel and rivets. It was a sign of commitment to peace, a symbol that the rules mattered. The ship's white hull and blue stripe came to mean stability from the Philippines to Vietnam. But history moves fast at sea. The day Shikishima left active duty, something fundamental changed, not just for Japan, but for everyone who sails in contested waters. Shikishima was no ordinary patrol ship. Stretching nearly 150 meters long, it was once the largest in the world. Its radars could sweep the horizon for hundreds of miles. Helicopters perched on its deck, ready for search and rescue or rapid response. With heavy water cannons and reinforced bows, it was built to withstand storms, and if needed, hostile encounters. For years, Shikishima led joint patrols with the Philippine Coast Guard, especially in areas where tensions with China ran high. Its crew trained Filipino sailors in advanced navigation, boarding operations, and international law. Many Filipino commanders today credit their skills to Shikishima's veteran officers. But Shikishima's true power was psychological. Rival vessels, especially those from China, thought twice before testing the rules when Shikishima was present. The ship was always professional, never provocative, but unmistakably firm. Its very silhouette on the horizon sent a clear message: these waters are not up for grabs. In a region where might makes right often rules the day, Shikishima was proof that rules could still hold sway. With Shikishima's retirement, a void opened up in regional security. The Philippines, for all its recent reforms, still relies on foreign partners for maritime strength. Suddenly, its Coast Guard was left without Japan's biggest deterrent. Patrol schedules were stretched, gaps appeared in the radar screen. Filipino captains, once confident in joint operations, now found themselves exposed. The change was immediate. Fishermen in Palawan noticed more strange shadows on the horizon. Coast Guard radio operators reported more aggressive hailing from foreign vessels. Without Shikishima, patrols felt less certain, more vulnerable. Diplomats in Manila scrambled for reassurances. Was Japan sending a replacement? Could the United States step up? Would other allies fill the gap? The answers were slow to come. Meanwhile, China's own Coast Guard ships, bigger and bolder than ever, began to test the limits. For the Philippines, this was a sobering new reality. The buffer was gone. It was time to face the waves alone, or find new partners fast. China wasted no time. With Shikishima gone, Beijing sent some of its largest Coast Guard vessels into disputed waters. These floating fortresses are over 170 meters long, bristling with water cannons, drones, and even artillery. Their white hulls, marked boldly with China Coast Guard, now dominate the South China Sea. Chinese crews use intimidation as a tactic. They blast horns, shine searchlights, and sometimes even ram smaller boats. Manila's Coast Guard, by comparison, feels like a David facing multiple Goliaths. Satellite images show a growing pattern: Chinese ships blocking access to fishing grounds, shadowing Filipino supply runs, and circling disputed reefs. Filipino officers are experienced, but their ships are outclassed. Shikishima's presence once kept these tactics in check. Now, the balance has shifted. China's message is clear: we set the rules here. For the Philippines, this new reality brings daily risk and constant vigilance. The seas have grown more crowded and a lot more dangerous. Every day at dawn, Filipino fishermen push off in wooden bancas, risking everything for a day's catch. But the shadow of Chinese ships hangs heavy over the water. Stories of harassment are common: nets slashed, radios jammed, and dangerous games of chicken with much larger ships. Fear and anger mix with every trip. On patrol, Coast Guard crews face endless cat-and-mouse games. They track shadowy vessels on radar, ready to sound the alarm. Young sailors, barely out of training, must confront professional adversaries with more advanced tech and bigger boats. The stress is constant. Morale is tested by long days, resource shortages, and the ever-present threat of confrontation. In coastal villages, families wait for news. Every radio report about a new standoff sends a wave of anxiety. Yet, these communities remain defiant. They display national flags, share updates on social media, and organize prayer rallies for the sailors at sea. The struggle for sovereignty is not just a diplomatic issue. It is a fight lived every day by ordinary Filipinos risking their lives and livelihoods. The loss of patrol power has real everyday impacts. Fishermen lose access to rich fishing grounds, cutting their incomes overnight. Markets in Mindoro and Zambales see fewer fish and higher prices. The stress ripples through local economies, from vendors in the wet market to small exporters shipping seafood abroad. Communities along the western coast feel the pinch. Some families leave fishing altogether, seeking work in cities. Others double down, risking more dangerous waters. Tensions rise as rumors of new confrontations swirl, feeding uncertainty and fear. Schools teach children about the West Philippine Sea, but the lessons now feel more urgent, more personal. Social media fills with videos of harassment, sparking debates and calls for government action. The nation's mood swings between pride and anxiety. Yet, amid hardship, resilience grows. Mutual aid groups form to support affected families. Churches, NGOs, and local leaders rally communities, reminding all that the struggle is not just about fish, it is about dignity and rights. The Philippines is not standing still. In recent months, the government has accelerated plans to modernize the Coast Guard. New patrol boats, radars, and drones are being ordered. Japan and the US promise more joint exercises, technology transfers, and intelligence sharing. Australia, South Korea, and even Europe express support. Transparency is now a weapon. Filipino crews film every encounter, posting videos online to expose intimidation. International media pick up the stories, amplifying calls for a rules-based order. At home, unity is the watchword. Politicians set aside rivalries, passing new budgets for defense. Civil society rallies for sovereignty patrols and volunteer coastal monitoring. Even school children join awareness campaigns, drawing posters and writing essays about protecting the nation's waters. The journey is just beginning. With old guardians gone, Filipinos know the road ahead will be rough. But, together, they are determined to stand their ground. Shikishima may be retired, but its spirit sails on. The lessons it taught, teamwork, vigilance, and respect for law, are now embedded in the Philippine Coast Guard. Filipino sailors recall joint drills, late-night strategy sessions, and the quiet confidence of their Japanese mentors. The message was always the same: never give up, never give in. New ships will come. Alliances will grow. But the real legacy is harder to measure. It is the sense of being part of something larger, a community of nations that values peace, cooperation, and the rule of law. In international meetings, the Philippines now speaks with a stronger voice. Its diplomats invoke Shikishima's example: resolve without provocation, courage without recklessness. Neighboring countries listen. Some emulate. The old ship's shadow continues to shape the region's future. As Asia's waters grow tenser, the need for resilience and partnership is greater than ever. Shikishima's watch is over, but its legacy lights the way forward.